Good evening, SBCC, and all points in between. How y'all doing? Joe, did you say something for all of us?
No,
Okay.
y'all can't have none. Y'all can't have none. It's got my Red Bull in here.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about this later, dear. But anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the May 1st edition of
SBCC. And all points in.
Okay, we got it now. To the SBC May edition of what is this show? Shoot Your Shot. Glad to have y'all here. And of course, I'm here with my co-host Josette with Shenanigans. And we also have Tamara from Arkansas. And Grandma Tamara, she's looking well tonight. Yeah. And of course we have the boss from Texas, Nathan, photographer extraordinaire. So it's always a pleasure to have you here, sir. So we're here tonight. We got a lot of things going. Glad to have everybody here. And glad this. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support and everything, though. And we're going to have a good meal at the after party. I ain't going to tell you what it is. But before we get started, though, well, let's get started. We had a post in Single Black Christians, the main group, and reads as follows, and it's by Shamikia Wilcox. Glad to have you. Why do some men get mad when you tell them that you just want to be friends with them and nothing more? So we're talking about, and our first topic for tonight is dealing with rejection. And she asks a good question, though, but is also to understand her whole context. Was everything told in this post, or do we accept it at face value? How do we deal with rejection? And I will start off with my co-host, Josette.
Hey. First, I kind of want to clarify, when dealing with rejection, are we looking at ghosting people as considered to be rejection?
That's an interesting point right there.
Because anybody, if you've rejected via words, like, okay, I think we should just be friends. At least they said, at least we should just be friends. Because, lately I haven't even been getting the friendship zone. I just been getting the straight ghost zone. Like, they just like, it's been Casper the Friendly Ghost. You get what I'm saying? So, I just think for me, dealing with rejection, and that's even because after a while the ghosting starts to build up, and now I got like, Casper just done got me I've been ghosted by a whole bunch of people lately, so I'm feeling some kind of way, and then I had one person reject me via actually voice, like voice message or whatever, but after a while, you get a couple, and then after a while you start to feel like I start to feel some kind of way that, what's wrong with me? Kind of thing. And I think anybody would. So I'm sure that the guys would be mad if I told a guy, like, I think we should just be friends. They're gonna go through their transition like, she just friend zoned me. And I'm gonna go through the same transition, like, I just got friend zoned. Wait a minute. I just, you process, you got to go through a little bit of mourning. Like, it's a little depth there, a little bit, kind of like, I just been friend zoned. All the hopes and dreams are now crushed.
What you said, all hopes and dreams?
Well, all the hopes and dreams of future dating with that person has now been closed and buried. So you have to process that in a certain. Does the person, do you have the right? Like, why would I get mad when I've been friend zoned? I got friend zoned. I'm emotional. I'm happy. I'm mad. I'm sad. I'm everything under the sun. I'm confused. I need to know more. I need to know less. You could have just ghosted me and left me with the confusion. You know, there's a whole lot to this. There's a lot, you know. And just like I said, as it builds up, then it's like, well, what happened? What's wrong with me? That's where it always ends. That's my feelings when being rejected. It immediately goes to what's wrong with me.
That's understandable right there. And Shamika says, if you want to be friends, then will it be rejection? Yes. And I think we go ahead, Nathan. Yeah, we talked about this some weeks ago, didn't we? On this particular show. Yeah. Let me read the rest of this and we'll get to you, Nathan. I agree, Joe said at least there is a friendship. Friendship is the foundation, and maybe they may change their mind and want to pursue a relationship, maybe. No. Nathan, handle this, please.
Okay, first of all, and I'm not trying to make it sexist, but men deal with rejection more than women. We just do. Mainly because we're going to be the ones initiating most of the conversations. We're going to be doing most of the reaching out. So we're going to be rejected more than the sisters. So we almost get, quote unquote, used to it. But transitioning from what we hope is a relationship to a friendship, that takes time to adjust to. So we ain't going to like it. Because in my mind, if I reached out to you, I'm looking for a relationship. I got enough female friends. I don't need more female friends. So I had you pictured a different way. So if I'm put in the friend zone, it's not somewhere I want to be, but give me time to adjust. Yeah, we'll still reach out. No, I'm not going to ghost you, all of that. But if that's not what I want, then I'm going to be honest about that too, which leads back to the original post. If I express an interest in you, and we're talking based on me expressing an interest in you, and then months down the line, you friend zone me, you've wasted my time. That's where men have a problem. If we put in energy, effort, even if we haven't spent money, if we put in energy and effort pursuing you, and you know we're pursuing you because we've expressed the fact that we want to pursue you, and then whether it's 2 months or 2 years later, you decide, oh, you know what? We just need to be friends. You could have told me that 2 years ago, and I could have moved on to somebody else.
Well, I would think that after. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
You wait. Let me read this, and then it'll be you. Sherry says that's not necessarily true. Women get rejected all the time, but don't feel comfortable mentioning it.
Okay, then I will raise this question, because in order to get rejected, you first have to reach out. So are you telling me now that women are reaching out? Because I didn't reach out. I thought they were all waiting. I mean, just help me understand. Clarify for me a little bit, because I was told that women don't reach out.
You know, not all women be waiting. Go for what you want.
That's what I heard. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I heard it too. But I was gonna go to your point. You know, yes, if it's been 2 years,
yeah.
After 2 months, you know.
You want to know where I stand after that time,
right? So, what is going on in this friendship relationship after 6 months where she's still confused?
Yeah, that
help somebody.
That's a long time. Like 2 years. We didn't get.
For a friend to just be friends and y'all don't, and that's confusion. That's not friends.
Yes, that is.
That's a situationship. It sounds like, but you know, just like what? Okay, so I think Nathan might have a couple people ears like, but I think that I understand where Nathan is coming from. Men are supposed to pursue the woman, so he would naturally think as a man that men are getting rejected more. I understand his perspective of that, but you do have some flirtatious women that get rejected a lot too. because they're pursuing. Like, I'm not a flirtatious woman, but there are some flirtatious women out there that do the hardcore pursuing. You know.
All right, hold on. Let me clarify. I am not generalizing all women. Okay. The majority of the time, I would say at least 60 to 70% of the time, men reach out. Do women reach out? Yes, they do, but not as often as men do. They just don't.
Right, and then
but not all.
I think part of another thought process is in this too is that if somebody friends, like I would rather be friends, but are they putting you in the friend spot because they're also seeing other people and haven't made a set decision yet? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we should just be friends, and that might be because I'm talking to 2 people or 3 people. Because I don't know, some people do that thing where they talk to more than one person at one time. So they could be friends on the person because they're talking to several different people, and you want to be friends until you make that decision. Me personally, if this is a clarified friendship and we're moving towards relationship, and then all of a sudden you've been friend zoned, it, yes, it takes some processing. Like, you're playing with my emotions here.
Exactly.
And let me see. Tawanda says stringing someone along for a long period of time, knowing that person wants more with you, is wrong. Be upfront from the start, so no one will expect more of you. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm going to touch on 2 things right quick. I agree, and hopefully this doesn't become men versus women out here, but I agree with Nathan though. I mean, I think I've been a man all my life. Last time I checked, so I've been rejected plenty of times. Okay, I know what rejection is. You know, I got my certification in rejection, so I know how it is though. And of course, right after the rejection, well, you know, we can be friends. You know, we can be friends, or better yet, and this happened in high school. You could be friends, and I could call you and talk to you about my problems. And guess what? I become an armchair psychologist, a guidance yes, and listening to their problems with the other guys that they are interested in. And then me, like a fool, I'm sitting up there listening, thinking, well, yeah, she'll dump them. And then she'll say, you know what, Mike, you was there all along, you know. 40 years later, it ain't happened. So, so it hasn't happened. So and again, it goes back to the next point to about what I'm about to make is, if you think that the person is feeling you, but you're not feeling them, then you really just need to say it.
Yes.
You know, you just really, but be careful now. And be careful and don't let ego get in the way. Thinking like, oh, yeah, she likes me. Then you go to her and she ain't studying you. You know, maybe and that might be the case, or maybe she's doing that to save face. Who knows? But that's just kind of a sticky situation. It really is, you know. And wait a minute, but BS, it sounds like it's a secret lover pretending to be a friend.
That sounds like friends with benefits.
See?
And I think that you know, throughout the years of things have changed, right? So, like, for me, like, if you know, for me, I still want to know why you friend zoned me, but I want to know why in a nice kind of way. Like, I'm not going to sit about Nathan. We could be friends but we can't go no further because Nathan, you shave too much and you talk too much, and you passed gas the other day in front of me, Nathan, and it was not cool. And Nathan, so do you get what I'm saying? So for me to reject, I'm just using Nathan as an example. But you know, there's a way to reject somebody without hurting them and turn it. I gotta turn it back on myself. Okay, you know what, Nathan? We could be friends because I personally am not ready for the, you know, or you know, you have to reject somebody in the I position instead of just pointing the finger at them, because then you could really hurt somebody's whatever kind of self-esteem they may have had. You just done destroyed it. So people need to learn how to reject other people, you know, and not put them in the friend zone, because you know you don't want them there. But at the same time, don't destroy a person's, you know, my goodness.
Okay.
Leave it alone. Nathan, I would never reject you, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
I appreciate you, especially that passing gas thing. But I'm cool.
No flatulation. Just kidding.
Oh man, come on. Y'all full of wind right now. But anyway, let's go to this.
That's
though.
why you
Okay.
Come on, Mike.
Okay. Anyway, let's do this though. Stop gassing each other up. So Tiana says, stop trying so come on, stay with me, y'all. Stop trying so hard to be with someone that have no intentions for you. Know your own worth to know that there are someone who share the same interests you have. And you know, and sometimes, and let's just be honest, sometimes we know that person ain't studying us. Okay, we know it. But we still think hope against hope that just that 0.00001% that they gonna, you know, come to their senses and say, you know what, you're the one. Come on, let's go out to the sunset. You know, no, it doesn't happen in this world, though.
That's the same hope a person has in a failed relationship. This is eventually going to work. We're going to be friends because of the kids, and then this is going to work later. You playing with my emotions,
right?
What ain't going to be, ain't going to be.
So, go ahead.
But I think in that regard, and I mean, I'm agreeing with what you guys are saying, but the person that is the rejector, they sometimes will hold on to something just to, it's like they have to be a part of what's going on because they're not ready to let you go, but they don't want you really. They really don't want you. But
say that again.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They really don't.
They want to keep you dangling on the. They want to keep you dangling on the string. Is that what you mean? So if they get rejected, they could come back to you.
Exactly. So because that door never closes. Okay. So when that door never closes, and that's manipulative. You know what I'm saying? And when you do things like that, somebody is going to be truly emotionally scarred because you played with them. Yeah.
So and that's a dangerous game to be playing with someone.
Yes.
You know, and then each time it happens, they leave you. You don't hear from them as they met this person, and then when things go to pot,
here they come. We still friends. Remember me or your old friend?
Oh, no, they won't even be that direct. Say, hey, what's been up? I ain't heard from you in a while. Trying to gaslight you. They gonna gaslight you. You know, you've been acting funny. You ain't called me though. You got your own group and everything. You ain't got time for me.
So I have a question then. Say for example, so my question is, say for example, you're seeing somebody, y'all Facebook friends, and you seeing that person, you know it doesn't work out. Do you unfriend them? Do you unfriend them at that point? Because they still have that action to get back connected with you based on the fact, oh, well, we've been friends. I've been seeing everything that you're doing. And oh, I miss you, woo, woo, woo. You know, and so it's
if I've expressed interest in you and you've given me indication that there's no chance of us being together. That's like me going for a job interview, not getting hired for the job, but I keep going to the building.
Okay, that's a good point. So are you saying that unfriend them?
Yeah.
No more phone calls, no more checking. There was a disaster in California. Don't call and check on me. We are no longer friends.
It has to be that way.
Because you're not going to keep hanging on to me.
It has to be
Right,
that way.
right.
Steve Urkel hung on to Laura for years.
I was thinking about that.
Did you really pull out Steve Urkel?
I did. And he did not get her until he became Stefan.
Right.
So he couldn't even get her being himself. He had to become somebody else. So what Tamara was saying about folk hanging on to people, because she strung him along and gave him hope, made him think he was going to have a chance or they might get together one day. She kept him going. Even when he got somebody, she got in her feelings and was still trying to pull him in.
So, okay, we putting in Steve Urkel, but this goes back to the original question. Handling the rejection. What do you do with the rejection? Dealing with the rejection, because we done been rejected in all kind of ways, shapes, or form, and then they always come back, or they never come back, or whatever the case may be. But still, as a person, how do you deal with the rejection? How do you move on from that rejection without it scarring your character, without the rejection scarring who you are? How do you continue? How do you continue to how am I going to approach somebody else? I just been rejected.
I think the answer to that, and this is a Tamara thing, when you give me the first indication that there's no interest, I keep it moving. I don't let
that not waste time here, right?
I don't let that get into my head, because if I do, I'm going back to a place where I was at when I was married. Okay, so I've been there. So because I've been there, I know that I don't want to go there. So when you give me an indication that this is really not working out, I don't think that this is going to be good, I shut it down. And that's a defense mechanism that I have. So that's what works for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. But all you can do is move on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like a bee sting. It hurts at the time. You pull it out and you move on. You don't leave a stinger in there.
Right.
And keep showing everybody, look, I got stung by a bee. You pull it out.
But then what happens when the buildup continues? You continue to get I mean, let's face it. We are all still single.
Yes.
So we are all continuing to deal with rejection right now in some kind of way, shape, or form. Okay. How do I not let that destroy my self-esteem? Especially for somebody, I don't know, even me, okay, it's been a few years that I've been rejected. I've been single. I'm 48, never been married a day in my life. So my rejection and my self-esteem right now, I mean, for a minute, I was really feeling so how do I keep myself boosted up after the rejections? And how long do you wait? How long do you sit there and
it's going to be a personal decision? Because with each person, go back to the bee sting. If I get stung by a bee and I say, okay, hey, you know what, that hurt. I'm gonna take the stinger out. I'm gonna treat the pain. I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna let it heal. I'm gonna give myself time to heal. But I'm also going to avoid the situation that got me stung in the first place.
That's right.
So if I don't learn my lessons and start making better choices, I'm going to keep going back and getting stung. And I think what we have to start doing, and I say we because this is something that I've learned myself, because I don't like being single either. And at 60, it sucks being single. But you have to start looking at, okay, how have I been choosing? What have I been choosing? Did that work? Why did it not work? And then start going back and making better choices. That's where the self-evaluation comes in. That's where, start looking at the man in the mirror and saying, okay, this didn't work. Let me reflect, let me regroup, let me start over and start doing something different so I don't put myself back in that situation.
That's good, Nate. That's good.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
And then I kind of want to mention something positive that because I, after my self-esteem took a hit from being rejected for, and still being single, I had to look at myself and be okay with rejection because I know that I am one of God's creations that's just I'm a piece of work, y'all. Somebody deal okay, I have pets and stuff in my room, and I'm a motorcycle girl and I'm very strong-minded. I'm very independent. So if somebody rejects me, it's because they know they can't handle all this.
Look, she muted herself. That's how powerful she is.
Yeah, she cut herself off. Can't hear you.
So I got too excited because somebody got handled.
That's that power,
But if somebody can't handle all of me, then fine, thank you. Go ahead and reject me because I don't, I'm a strong-minded person. My self-esteem has now been, it's like, okay, I have lifted myself up to a point to where you cannot destroy my self-esteem. So I have to look at it like, well, you know what? This person just can't handle me, and that's okay. Because see, I need a leader. I need somebody that can lead me. That I don't need somebody that's gonna be intimidated by me. So men get intimidated by me. So I'm okay with rejection now.
Absolutely.
That was good.
Yeah. And and again, like we say, reject, we hear people say, hey, rejection can be good. You keep certain evil people away from you. But in the long run, you'll be like, wow, I'm glad she left me, or I'm glad he went the other way. But when it happens right then and there, though,
right at the time,
ooh, you got to go to the package store. I mean, you feel awful.
Maybe that should be where your support team comes in. I don't know. I don't have friends that are really, really close to me. But like if I get rejected, I'm really scarred. Mike, I'm calling you. You better come on. Mike, you better, you know what I'm saying? And that's where your friends kind of, or your support team come in at and go, girl, don't pay no attention to him. Nathan, you could do better, brother. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have support. Don't just sit there and wallow in the rejection. Just know that God has something better in store for you. And that person.
That person, okay. And
I don't know about that person, but you, and that's the time when you and the friends, I don't talk to people every day. So, but if I'm really emotional or I'm hurt or I've been rejected, girl, he just, oh my God. And and one of my girls, like, girl, come on, let's go to the casino. Okay. I'm over it.
Yeah, well, yeah, money will do that, won't it? But yeah, and you got to have a friend, that one friend, that'll sit down next to you and say, listen, you didn't need that person. That person wasn't any good, and this. Don't be afraid to, call them to the carpet. This. You had no business, bad grammar. You had no business being around them. And have someone who's gonna, tell you what needs to be told. And Andrea says all connections don't work, and it's not always a mutual decision. Sometimes it could take time to see that he or she is right, which means you have to experience a status change.
That's true. But how much time? Because I don't mind taking time. But like we said earlier, if you don't know after a couple of months where I stand, you've wasted my time. We're adults. Everybody at a certain age, we ought to know by now, based on our own personal experiences. Okay, here's what I need. Here's what I don't need. And if you haven't figured that out with me in a couple of months, then move on to the next one. I don't have a problem with time. I agree. We need to take the time to evaluate. We do. But It's just like some people no lie. About a month ago, I shot a wedding. They had been together. Y'all, I'm not lying. They had been together so long as boyfriend and girlfriend. The kids were in the wedding.
Okay.
I'm confused. Ain't that supposed to happen? No matter. I'm confused, Nathan. The kids.
Okay.
Mike, explain that to me later, Mike. Give me a phone.
Boyfriend and girlfriend. They had been together for 12 years and then decided to get married.
They were already married. They had children. They were committed. They just, the piece of paper is what they needed.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You know, I thought of something else too when it comes to dealing with rejection. Sometimes, and Mike, you have even had to kind of rein me in on this, but sometimes we get rejected and we go immediately to our singles group and air our dirty laundry. Like, you know, I got rejected this weekend. What do we? I think Mike, you got Mike has even told me a couple times, you gotta let it go, Joe. You gotta let it just go. You know, so what do we do when it's like, okay, you've changed your status or on your Facebook page, or you go to your Facebook page and say, well, I've been rejected, and now you need all this feedback from your Facebook friends saying that it's okay. I mean, is that okay to do? Like, air your rejection on Facebook?
Absolutely not.
No.
It's because it makes you look bad.
Yes.
It makes you look bitter.
Yeah.
And then that drive off potential suiters.
Yeah.
Like,
but what about when you need the Facebook support because you've been rejected?
No.
No, not if you go to a person that you know, because I always say you'll mess around and be a Facebook post messing with some of these people.
Yes.
Keep
it private.
The group.
I think I brought that up for some of the younger ones that might be listening. I don't do that no more. I had to learn not to be airing all my stuff on Facebook like that.
Exactly.
No, don't do that. That's why, and it goes right back to what we're saying tonight. You go to your friend. You go to your best friend. You know, you go to your friend, and of course, go to the Lord in prayer. And, you know, let's skip the old Heavenly Father. This is as your humble servant. No. I've learned the best prayer to the Lord if you just talking to him, of course, with respect and, you know, honor. But just say, Lord, such and such broke my heart.
Right.
And I don't know what to do. Please help me. Yeah. You know, I forgive her. Please forgive her. But I need your help right now.
And even sometimes with the prayer, a lot of the times for me, I have to start with, Lord, you told me so.
Yeah.
Because I'm praying for discernment. I'm praying for discernment when I meet the person. Then it's like, okay, I'm the one that got to test it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm disappointed. My feelings is hurt. It's whatever. And I got to go straight to God and say, God, you told me so. Can Lord forgive me? Please help us to grow from this experience.
But and you know what? I think when people are dealing with rejection, the more people that they have on their side, it makes them feel better about.
Yes, and that's why there's the Facebook post, because you need people on your side.
When you do that, and everybody's dragging the man or dragging, mostly they're dragging them. We holding up signs talking about they finna drag you. That makes you feel better about yourself, and so you're thinking off of a false. It's a facade because that's not real. You don't even know these people.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, the emperor, new clothes. You know, you're walking around, everything swinging and swinging. Oh, it looks good on you, Saya. No, you want someone to tell you you want someone to tell you the truth. And I like what Keisha said. Put your stuff out there if you want to. You will become a meme.
Yeah,
you know, because I've seen it plenty of times.
Me too.
Somebody get hurt. They say, you know what? They don't call the person directly. Don't laugh. They'll sit up there. Who I just can't stand folks. I just can't stand. They just break my heart. In words ain't no good. You know how that go. And then you're gonna have that one person in the comment section, sis, who I gotta fight. You know?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God, you are right.
You
Where I
know?
need to be at? Where I need to pull up at?
And they telling their side, they telling it from their point of view.
Yeah.
You know, from their perspective, you know, oh, they hurt me. Well, what did you do? And
Mike, Mike, you know, I've asked, you remember, I don't know if you would remember, but a couple of times when those women would do that, I would say, why don't you invite him into the group so we can hear his side of the story?
Okay. How about that?
And I've been running the group long enough to hear those stories. They come in now and not victim blaming. Definitely, God forbid that, but just saying, oh, he just this and that, and I'm just listening. Okay.
And see, I'm one of the ones that has done it because I've done it. Mike, you know, I've done it like, oh, he was just such a disappointment. And that actually wasn't rejection. That wasn't rejection. That was me setting myself up for a failed friendship, relationship, or whatever it could have been. Now, I know doggone well this man is over here smoking drugs, and I just think I could heal him and fix him. That's not rejection. That's not rejection. That's me setting up myself to fail.
Mm-hmm.
That's understood. But I'm going to put this one up here. There are always three sides to the story. Your side, her side, and the truth. Absolutely.
Always.
That's a good way to end this part of the show. This part. We're going to go to the next topic, which I suspect would be just as hot and smoking. Oh, boy. And I got the National Guard on standby, so y'all just brace yourself. NSBCC, Single Black Christian Connection, the younger group. We had a young lady, new member, and she made a post, and it reads as follows. Hello, I am 33 and I live in Jamaica. Please message or add me if you like to chat. Okay? Now, nothing wrong with what she said. Okay? Nice message. Hey, that's what you're supposed to do in that group. You want to make a connection, you got to present yourself.
Right.
It's the comments. It's the comment section. And mostly those from the islands, from the Caribbean. And they pretty much accusing the group of just being, I guess, xenophobic. You know, not liking anyone.
What's that word again?
Xenophobia. Not liking anyone outside of your native country. Xenophobia. Okay? And they're accusing that. You know, and of course they're saying that, they think we want to marry them so we could get into their country, get a green card. They could be our sponsor. You know, not recognizing that, I mean, long distance within the continental United States is tough enough. And I'm talking about you could be in the very next state. Okay? Or like Nathan lives in Texas. Well, dang, you could be in North Texas and someone in South Texas. That's three states right there.
Relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Or California. In Joe said your case. North Cali, South Cali. That's long distance right there. So people don't understand it. So my point is this, and let me just put this up here. International dating woes. How can we convince people that we're not being bigoted or prejudiced against them? We just looking at not wanting to date someone from outside of the country. I mean, if that's you, if what you want to do, that's fine, no problem. But please help me explain the impracticality. At least I think it is. Go ahead. Uh-oh.
Nathan, come on.
The person in the other country really the burden of proof is on that person, because the stereotype is already there because of history. There have been too many stories. I know some personally. I shared one with you all earlier, how people have been scammed. They've been lied to. They've been taken advantage of because somebody was indeed trying to get in the country. So it happens, and it happens often. So that's almost the norm. So that person, whoever's in those other countries, has to pretty much show by their actions, by their consistency, that they're different. And that's hard to do. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
I shared earlier, I know someone who tried to help somebody get into the country and married them, and then couldn't find the guy once he got in the country, because because he got the green card he needed and just disappeared. So she couldn't even get a divorce to meet somebody else and marry somebody else.
Whoa, that is crazy.
So it happens. And so that people have to understand, okay, hey, here's what it's just like here in the US. If somebody says they were raised in Chicago, okay, no shade on Chicago, because it's just as bad. But if somebody's raised in the hood, some people are going to have a mindset about the hood. You're going to have to, okay, hey, I know what you've heard about the hood, but that's not who I am. So that person's going to have to show, people do get scammed right here in America. So when you have that in your head, then you have to be able, by your actions, and again, by being consistent, show that I'm not like that person. I'm not what you've heard.
Mm-hmm.
But dating long distance, whether it's another country or, like you said earlier, another state, there's so much involved in that because now you got to plan, flights, you got to plan visits. That gets expensive after a while. And now you're talking about flying overseas to see somebody or flying them here. And no, that's just a whole lot. It is. Let's just be honest. It's not a matter of being xenophobic. That's just being practical. Because if I'm dating long distance and I've done it, trying to see somebody 2 or 3 times a month, yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. And that's just practical.
And let me say this, and then Joe, you go. And again, we're not, and really definitely not talking about scammers. Just, we're not going to date outside the country because, they may be a scammer. Trust me, you may have a scammer living right next door to you.
Next door, right.
So, I mean, homegrown scammers are worse.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are. So, I mean, I said this last week, and I said, or was it earlier this week? I say it tonight. Scammers are everywhere, in every country, every continent, from the Northwest Territories way down to Antarctica.
That's
You
right.
got some penguins down there running scams. You got scammers everywhere. Okay, so
You do.
okay. With that said, go ahead, Joe said.
So, Mike, I just sent you a picture of me trying to. You could put this picture up if you want to, but it is a culture shock. Like, I tried to talk to somebody, and this person was in Nigeria, so they sent me some of their cultural attire, all the way from Nigeria, and I put it on, thinking, oh, I'm gonna try and figure out this new culture, and I'm gonna try, just destroyed my sexy and everything, got me wrapped up in all this gear. Mike got a picture, I just sent it to him. But trying to deal with somebody in another country, our culture, our American culture is so different. Our dating is so different. The way that we, just interact, it's just so like you know, a lot of just trying to date a different person of a different religion. A lot of people are Muslim in the other African areas and different stuff like that. But the thing is that it's not just about scamming. It's about, okay, there is a different culture, man. And I don't want to get to know. I love my American culture. I don't, even if this person was trying to come to America and now you want me to start cooking juju or whatever it is that they eat in other countries or whatever, you know, no. And for me, if I was to go to another country, now you want me to eat your goat, it's not going to happen. So that's another reason, just culture shocks that we cannot. It just don't mix well. See how you see y'all? I tried. Y'all go on and laugh. I said I want my dress with a split in the front, a little low cut, and this is what I got. And here I am. You know, it's Ramadan and everything, and I'm trying to go with the Ramadan and all. And this was just 2 weeks ago, y'all. This is me 2 weeks ago. So. Oh, wow. You know, I tried to do fasting, and you know that the sun came up and I wasn't supposed to eat or drink no water. I said, I need some tea, man. This is not, you know, I'm trying, but it's just not working. So needless to say, we're friends. We've been friends for a long time, but I could not get into no other culture like that. No. Destroy my sexy, no.
And not only that, we don't even have to think about international culture changes. You know, life might be different in, like I say me and Tamara, okay? Mm-hmm. Well, she's in Arkansas, okay? And I'm in Alabama. It's culture changes between those two states.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's you have to, somebody's going to have to adjust.
Right.
Somebody. So I don't know. Let me see. Ooh, oh no, I gotta take care of that right there. And Teresa says, I like that outfit, but without the head wrap. Okay. I understand though. But and like
it's
I
cute.
said,
I mean, it was cute once a year or something. They wanted me to wear this giddy up. Like, did you wear the dress today? Did you wear the dress today? Did you wear the dress? I said the dress is in the box and in the drawer now. Like,
oh wow.
But no, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just a sense of trying to date internationally. You know, once you've tried and it's like, okay, this has nothing to do with scamming. I tried, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just not, even think about, you know, like say, for example, if I was to go get and I would love to be able to travel internationally one day, but I don't want to go visit the goats, the camels and the dirt. And no, I want to go to the nice, beautiful parts of Africa. I don't want to visit you. And I mean, I'm sorry, y'all supposed to stop me, Mike. You supposed
no. Well, I mean,
on the shoulder.
You have some poor places in America as well. You know, especially if you go to Appalachia.
It is expensive to travel internationally. It is time consuming and it's very expensive. You know what I'm saying? So anywhere I go, if it's going to be internationally, then I want to be able to see some. Tamara, help me.
You were doing good. You know, you were doing good. You just, you know, you did good explaining it. And I understood.
Mike, so, take the key, Mike.
Well,
you flying to go visit somebody. If it's not for the weekend, then you got to plan to be 2 or 3 or 4 days away and then come back. And then you got to plan again to go 2 or 3 or 4 days and then come back. That's the issue. Because if you're going overseas, you can't just go on Friday and come back Sunday.
Right.
You know, that's going to take, you got to take at least a week off to plan that and do all that. And you can't do that every month.
And then you have to recuperate coming back. Like you have to take off your job. Like this is an expensive experience. It's even time consuming and expensive when it comes to dealing with their data versus our Wi-Fi and internet and a different 15-hour time zone. Like, you know, putting this on a scale, and where I even had, you know, my friend had even had me out buying some of the it was something they call some kind of tea or coffee they make. I'm out here in my Walmart and Target trying to buy this tea and coffee. We done mixed the tea and coffee together, and it was supposed to be such a wonderful experience. That stuff is in the garbage can right now. I'm sorry, I tried these other cultures, but it ain't nothing like a good Starbucks. I'm sorry, baby.
But and when it goes down to, and again, I'll say this: I am open to dating a female that's from another country. I want to make this clear, but I'm open that if she came from there, in other words, like we'll just use Lagos, Nigeria. If she's from there, because you know you have plenty of people. I mean, people are well to do in Nigeria, contrary to popular belief.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
trust and believe this.
Yes.
And you know, if she's living in America, then fine. We could, you know, respect each other's culture, see what we can do, you know. But now if her residence is there, we'll just have a problem. And again, it's not about, and I'm stressed this, it's not about scammers or what have you, because again, you got some in your own state. I'm just looking at practicality though. But again, SBCC and Ian, he pretty much pointed out something to me in the comment section that SBCC is more or less an international dating group, because we have, you know, and I never sat down and thought about that, because we have people from the United Kingdom, again, from the Caribbean, of course, Canada, of course, and maybe in the Pacific, and we got some from Europe. So we have a lot of folks there. It's pretty international. But again, if you want to date someone that lives in another country, count the cost. Count the cost.
Yeah.
And also, too, I think that to tie these two things together, if you're in an international country and you want to date us as Americans and you get rejected, don't take it so personal, or don't let it destroy your character or what, you know, because us, like, okay, this is the international dating group. Hopefully they also have a dating group for their particular country or whatever the case may be. Just like Russians have they do their dating where you can specifically date Americans. They also need to be interactive off in those groups as well. You know what I mean? But don't let the fact that the Americans rejected dating you because you're in another country. We have the right to do that, and don't let that destroy, your desires or wishes, whatever the case may be. And just know that once you put yourself out there, like, hey, I'm from Jamaica and I want, you put yourself out there in a certain kind of way. Hey, I'm from here, wherever, and I just want to date somebody. Well, you've opened up the doors to be rejected in a lot of different ways. You can't just say that, man. Like I did. Mike, take the key.
But you know what? There are some of our international brothers and sisters will reject us because we are natural born Americans.
Yeah, that's right.
So it goes both ways.
True.
So wait a minute. Tan X, what about interracial dating? Yeah, what about interracial dating? Well, I've said this before. I am open to it, but my first choice will always be my queens. That's going to be my first choice. But I am open. I would not reject. If she can cook seafood, then we good to go. Well, that's the way I look at it, though. So,
And I'm gonna just start. There was nothing wrong with interracial dating.
and Leslie, you said the majority of the men in my inbox are from Nigeria and Ghana.
Yes,
I'm flattered, but I need. Well, hey, they might pay for your trip there, Leslie. You don't know. Hey, give it a shot. Hey, you know,
Leslie, you going? You going?
they got a good what is it, motion picture industry over there. You know, the movies are kind of, but hey, it's something though. I enjoy them. But anyway, and that's right. Joe said, if you're not interested in an LDR, join a local club and be seen as less of an idiot with your posts and comments. On that note, y'all. On that note, we are out of time. We are out of time, y'all. We are out of time. I know y'all hate to hear that though. So I mean, it's been a good discussion. I enjoyed it. Y'all, enjoyed the feedback. And it's been good, y'all. And coming up next, we're having the after party. Yes, we will have the after party. It's going to be in Zoom. We will post the link up in the groups momentarily. Just click in, enjoy. You might meet someone, meet a new friend. Hey, we got a couple that met in there. So, hey, give it a shot. Y'all don't know. Shoot your shot in there. Okay? And then, of course, Tuesday, we will have Tuesday Talk. And, of course, we have a good time there. So join in at, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. Okay. And Saturday, I honestly don't know what we're gonna have Saturday, but we will be here Saturday though. Yeah, it'll either be this show or it'll be this show. Okay, we're gonna have fun though. So anyway, and I think that's it, folks. That is it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Nathan. Always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, Tamara. Always lovely to have you here. Thank you to my beautiful co-host, Josette. I'm gonna have a long talk with you after the show, but thank you
for being a long talk.
Yeah,
am I in trouble?
You in big you in big trouble. You might not be here next week. I don't know, but you.
No. Maybe I got too excited. I was supposed to be going. Somebody asked me out on a date to the casino, y'all. That's my type of date tonight. I don't know.
Okay. In that case, thank y'all for watching us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. We appreciate y'all. And if nothing else, we see you next week. Bye, y'all.